And I remember Madeline and I went there about maybe a year and a half ago or so, and we had a few extra days, which was like rare. We usually just, every damn. Anyway, we had a few days of free days, and I remember in the beginning we took it 2 days, and we went down the Bright Angel Trail, kind of down into the canyon, and we looked around, we camped for a night, came back up, and then we were on the South Rim, which is like the main place, and all these people, and we were enjoying the beautiful views, and there's these signs everywhere that say, do not attempt to hike all the way down to the river, the Colorado River, at the bottom, and back up in 1 day. That is not a day trip. People die trying to do that. Do not do that. It's too far, too steep, not in 1 day. And so I said, no, I want to just try that. And so the next morning, I just left. I went down. It's over 5,000 vertical feet, many miles anyway. I went down. Finally get down to the Colorado River. There's a sign there that says, no swimming. I can't believe they say that. It's hot down there. So I took a swim. I went back up, and I was back up on the rim again before noon for lunch. And I just said to Madeline, these signs aren't for vegans. And it's really nothing to be proud of. It's just basically, if you're eating in a way that's healthy, your arteries are not clogged up with saturated fat and cholesterol, and you have a lot more energy. And you can do things. And that's how we're meant to be. We're meant to be healthy, we're meant to be strong, we're meant to have lots of energy to celebrate our lives on this beautiful earth. And that's how you get when you eat a whole foods, organic, plant-based diet is fabulous for that. It's really not only better for the earth, but for an ecosystem, the outer ecosystems, but for the inner ecosystem, for these cells. That's what they thrive on. You're not creating a lot of toxins that the body has to deal with. You don't get sick. I haven't, in more than 20 years of giving over 150 events a year, I've never missed one event. Never, ever. I've never even been to a doctor. You just get free of all that. You don't need to be part of that whole medical ridiculous thing. So there's that. Then I'm just going to wrap it up. So yes. So I'll just close. I've gotten through maybe the first half or so of the book. The last chapters just to kind of round it out here. There's a chapter called The Metaphysics of Food, which goes into the fact that the toxins we're eating in animal foods are not simply the physical toxins, but in a sense metaphysical toxins, in the sense we're actually eating terror and fear and pain. Do we really want to give that to our kids, and to really kind of look beyond the strictly materialistic level to see a deeper vision that includes the spiritual dimension of our lives? There's a chapter on science and religion, and showing that they're not simply fighting with each other, but they're kind of like two bickering brothers of the same father, and they're actually working together very well to dominate the animals. And who they really don't like is Sophia. They both they both attack Sophia, both traditional, conventional science and religion. And so the whole chapter on that, that's my favorite chapter actually. And then there's a chapter called Some Objections Answered, which basically goes into the idea that when we're forced to eat animal foods, we can only get the foods, we also get certain standardized rationalizations for doing so. And people say, well, what you're saying, it's not really true because Jesus ate meat, so it must be right to do. Or they'll say, well, the Indians, they all eat meat and they're real spiritual, so it must be right to do. Or they'll say, well, the plants, they have feelings too. You just don't hear your carrot screaming, but it really is. Or they'll say, there's a whole bunch of these ideas. So basically, in that chapter, I just address all of the rationalizations and objections that people have about these ideas, because I think it's very important to do that. So it's actually a very good book to give people who they say, why the heck are you doing this vegetarian or vegan thing? There's a few chapters at the end. Then the closing chapter, I just want to close with basically this idea now that essentially the message, as I've tried to say along the way, is essentially a very positive message. I know you're probably sitting there right now going, well, I don't feel like it's been all that positive. If you think that's positive, I just think but really, I'm just telling you a little bit of the sort of the bad things that are happening because we're killing all these animals. It is terrible what we're doing to them and to ourselves. But the message is positive because we don't have to do it. Each one of us can stop right now. You can go out of here tomorrow. Today even, right now. I've heard this woman ask me once. She said, well, I'd like to go vegan but I just want to kind of do it slowly. And I said, yeah, it's kind of like if you're in a prison, and then somebody says, well, you know, the door's open, and you go, all right, well, I'm just going to slowly work my way, I'm going to kind of inch my way out of here. I don't want to just go right away, I'm going to kind of just get there. I want to know I can make it. It's like, you can just go. It's like the door's open, go. Walk out. You know, like, it's not really, but if you want to take some time, that's fine. But the basic idea is that each one of us, wherever we are in our life, the idea is that we're not to blame. We're eating animal foods simply because we're following orders, and it's very understandable. Those orders came early on from people we trusted completely. So it's not in any way about blaming, shaming, or anything. It's just understanding that those orders are not in our best interest. And the people who gave the orders, they weren't bad. They were just giving the orders that they've been given. So we have to understand that, have compassion for everybody, love everybody. What this is an evolution of complete love. There's no place for anger or rage or blame or anything. It's just understanding and move on. Do the right thing. Live with kindness. Or if people have been doing something for, you know, if somebody's been banging their head or doing something that doesn't make sense for a long time, they don't have to keep doing it because that's what they always did. We can, instead of looking at the past to justify our behavior, why don't we look at the future and think of the kind of future we'd like to create and move toward it with a sense of living the way we would like to live to create that kind of future. And that's what we can do. So this, to me, is the underlying message that each one of us, wherever we are in our lives, if we're eating a regular diet, we can move toward becoming a vegetarian. If we're a vegetarian, we can become vegan. If we're already a vegan, we can become an advocate or an educator in some way. I think there's no greater gift at this time on our planet, really, than to make an effort to understand these ideas and then to try to bring our lives into harmony with the ideas, and then to do the best we can to share these ideas with others. I think this is the greatest gift we can give, because as we do that, we help to transform our world, help our culture evolve to a higher level, and as Gandhi said, to be the change that we would like to see in the world, to be the change we'd like to see. Gandhi said very clearly, he said, there will never be any social transformation without personal transformation. We have to change ourselves, and that's how we actually make the world a better place. And everybody wants transformation, but nobody wants to change. That's the funny thing. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, I want transformation, but don't make me change anything. I want to keep eating the same thing and doing it. We have to actually, I think, we're called, in a sense, to address this. And the beauty of this, I think, also is that right now, this moment, and next moment, and this evening, and tomorrow, each one of us, as we understand these ideas now, in a sense, the ball is in your court. How do you respond to understanding this? How do you respond? That's the question. We can either do like the religions tell us to do, unfortunately, or most of the religions say, just turn away and don't look at it. Just ignore it. It's okay. Or do we actually address it and be aware of it? How do we respond now that we understand? And as we deepen our understanding, I really want to encourage you to deepen your understanding. It's a great adventure, really. I think it's for sure, for me, the best, I always say, the best decision I ever made in my life was going vegan, except for marrying, that was the best. The second best was going vegan. Because the food tastes better, we begin to connect with our natural inner well springs of creativity and understanding and a sense of inner peace. It can be hard to be a vegan in a not yet vegan world. I definitely understand that, because everybody else, most of the people, we're still a small percentage, and most people think we're nuts, you know. But the thing is, we are actually, I'll just close with this idea, that most people look at vegans as always saying no, being very negative, like you won't eat any meat, you won't eat dairy, you won't eat eggs, you won't wear wool or silk or leather, you won't eat anything tested on animals, you won't go to the rodeo, you won't go to the circus, you won't go to the Calgary Stampede. You know, you're always saying no to everything. You're no fun. And it's always no. No, no, no. But actually, all of those no's ride on a big yes. It's saying yes to kindness, yes to compassion, yes to caring, yes to taking responsibility for the ripples that radiate out from my life into the world. And that yes is the yes of like, hoo-ha, you know, it's really a yes of happiness and love and celebration and joy, and it brings healing, not only to oneself, but to the world. And I think in the short time we're on this planet, I think we begin to realize that it's not about getting something, it's really about giving, and about what kind of a gift we can bring to each other and to our world, and how can we help each other. And this has got the biggest impact by far. this is the root of the dilemma. So I'll just close with a short poem by, actually what I'll do, I'll close with a very tiny little brief story and then a short poem. The brief little story is, I heard